We have Groff has taken, or sorry, Wu has gone through and picked up some armor and weapons. Urard,
one of the armors.
Yep, Urard got some armor as well. I'm gonna have to update your character sheets in 5e or in Encounter Plus.
You're really playing Zelda while he's talking about. No, you make me sick.
Hey, as long as he pays attention whenever he needs to. As long as he doesn't ask what happened.
What happened?
Yeah.
I have a right to ask what happened.
I'm gonna ask everybody else if they need any hide armor or if any of them could use chain.
What benefit does chain armor give?
Chain is heavy, which means that you could not use it. Because you're not you are not proficient in heavy armor. Hide is
medium. Would I be able to use it or no?
Urard, no, you cannot. You are only eligible for light armor.
Damn, so never mind then.
Yeah, the benefit of hide for you, Groff, would be nothing.
Justin, I'm sorry I have to be annoying one more time. USB-C cable? Just for my phone.
Oh, okay.
Do you happen to? I forgot to bring one.
I have one right in front of me, but let me see if I have another one.
If not, I'll just leave.
No, you're good. I do.
Yeah. So the only two out of you that would be eligible for the hide would be Wu and Groff. Smith could, but Smith gets his unarmored defense.
Thank you.
So
I promised to keep my intrusion to a minimum.
Why I don't
pee on his foot. I
don't have to go yet.
Shit on his bed right now.
As for heavy armor, you're the only one, Wu.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, and the hide's not beneficial to me right now, so.
Right, yeah, the hide is the same as studded leather. The only difference is one costs a lot more.
Well, also the hide maxes out at 2.
That's true, yes. Yeah. No, you are right. That I kept thinking what the fuck is the difference? But no, you're right. Studded leather is dexterity no matter what. Hide medium armor is only up to a maximum of 2, and heavy armor is just what it gives you. So technically, actually, for you, wearing the chainmail would be beneficial right now. For that, it would give you that +1.
Right, but it'll give me disadvantage on stealth.
True. Cool. All right. So with that, like I said, Urard and Kyra were going over the bodies of the 3 travelers, which Urard was able to definitely tell. Kyra is able to definitely tell too that they are definitely dead. So there is that in mind. And Smith was starting to go through the caravan. Like I said, you have found in there mostly some traveling supplies. Bedrolls, furs that can be used as blankets or wraps. There is some casks of frozen food, and there's a little bit of clothing. You also find that there are 2 lanterns with a few pints of oil there. With your 17 in investigation, though, you can tell that this carriage was more or less ripped through by the orcs. It's a lot of the clothing, like the sacks of the clothing we're in, are torn to shreds. The bedrolls have been ripped apart and stuff like that. The furs have actually been kept in an okay condition. But something that does stand out to you as you're looking through it, you see underneath the seat of where the person that would be steering this thing would sit is you actually see a box, a small little chest that's about a foot wide, maybe about a foot deep as well, that has 3 small locks on it.
Sorry, I need to bring up this moment. You can see the cat behind Justin is staring at me.
Yes. And then he's gone.
Yep.
Bella will come back.
So I can't open the what is it again? Is it a wooden box?
Yeah, it's like a small wooden chest. Like I said, it has 3 small locks on it.
Can I pick it up and take it outside?
Yeah, you definitely can. It's it doesn't feel like it weighs a ton. Maybe about a pound or 2. Well, I'll say it maybe weighs like 4 pounds at most. So it's fairly small.
So I can't open it normally, right?
If you want to roll a stealth check, I mean, it's not a stealth check. If you want to roll a strength check just to like pull this thing apart, definitely give it a shot if you want to roll that. Be my guest.
Okay, I understand, Cat. Altman's a very strange man.
Yeah, you start tearing at this thing, like at the locks. You're able to pop 2 of them. But it looks like the last one is like just barely holding on. So you're not able to like rip it apart.
Would I be able to use thieves' tools to try to open it?
Sure. I am going to say, Gerard, while you see this happening, you see Smith come out. He has this chest in his hand. He's trying to rip it apart, and you hear the ping, ping of these 2 small locks on it firing off. You see that he's trying to get it open, and Woo's like, I got this. You actually look down at the body next to your feet at the woman, and you can see that she is wearing a necklace that has a key on it.
Oh, I'll
Kill her.
guys, I think the key's right here. There's I'll go ahead and I'll take the necklace off of the woman and hold up the key and be like, I think this is the key to the lock, guys.
Do you try that?
Yeah, I'm gonna try it.
Okay, it doesn't work.
Oh, wait.
See what happens when
3
you
of
use
them,
wrong
3
key?
locks. Check the other 2 bodies. Maybe each body or each person in the family had a key for each lock.
Is it really necessary to be doing this right now?
Do you do you check the other bodies?
I'm gonna pick the lock.
Can I roll another strength check?
I'll give Wu a chance to try and pick them real quick.
Okay.
Go ahead, buddy.
What do you need?
I need you to make a. You're proficient with thieves' tools, right? And you have thieves' tools, right?
Yes.
No, you don't. You don't have thieves' tools.
Do I not?
No, you're just
He needs
proficient
a rune
with
for
them.
that.
Why would he have thieves' tools anyway?
He could have just bought them.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you do not. You are proficient with them, so I imagine you walk up and you're like, "Oh fuck! If I had the right tools, I could just pop that thing right open."
Yep.
Yeah, Smith, go ahead. Make another strength check. I will say that as you are making that strength check and you ping that 3rd lock off, that is when Gerard, you look down at the body of the young girl on the ground, who maybe seems to be about 7-8 years old. You see that she has a small little bracelet around her wrist that had a key on it as well.
So I was right, but doesn't matter now.
Yeah, Smith is just like, and yeah, so Smith, you bust the top of this chest off, and as you do, you look inside and you view the contents. Inside the box is you see a leather-bound book. You also see a glassy orb that looks almost as if it has like a smoky, opaque texture on the inside. And then you also see a stuffed animal of a cheetah that has like an orange ribbon sort of like tied around its tail that is a few feet long.
So journal, stuffed animal. What was the second thing?
It's like a glass orb or some kind of like, glassy looking orb that has a smoky, almost opaque design to it. Like you can't see through it, but like light can penetrate through it. And it has like a gray, smoky color to it.
Okay. I go through the journal and grab the orb.
Okay. What do you do with the orb?
Just grab it.
Okay.
Hold on to it.
Okay. Yeah, you open up the leather-bound book. And as you start thumbing through the pages, it is written in common, so you are able to read it. You can tell that it's only about 3/4 full of writing, but it is the journal of one Cameron Highfjord, and it tells of him and his family moving to Icewind Dale about 10 years ago, and starting up his family there with his wife Donna Jo, eventually having their daughter Kieran. And as you go through it, you get the sense that he is a writer of some kind, that he moved to Icewind Dale to sort of get a different perspective and be in a different environment. And as you look towards the end, you can see that there are entries that are more passive about the more recent times in the Dale and how it is become a struggle. And one of the last passages that you see in there was just from a few days ago, where he wrote that after the death of Marcus, the family has decided that they are going to take
who?
Marcus.
Who?
Oh no.
That they are going to take that it cements their reasoning that they are not safe there in the Dale anymore, and that they must leave. So they are packing up to return back to the southern lands.
That's my goblin you pilfered.
Yeah, it is.
Altman's in the
Put him
same
back.
room. He can actually hit you.
Could I just ask what exactly is to be gained by going through these people's things?
I'm just trying to find supplies to maybe help us venture the wastelands more. Survival of the fittest, I guess.
Smith, I do want to say though, as you're flipping through the last few pages, with your 17 in investigation, you notice there's no writing on the final pages, but it almost appears as if there are indentations on the final pages. Like you're sort of like, you can like move your hand across them and you can sort of feel that there is something there.
And I'll relay that information to the group and show them this orb that I have.
Sure. Yeah, you can all see the same
And
smoky orb.
I'll shrug at Kevin's comment and just be like,
I mean, hey, they don't need it where they are right now. I imagine there's a fair disconnect between somebody like Smith, who has lived in the Dale his entire life, and in the recent years of kill or be killed, survive or die kind of situations. There could definitely be a disconnect there.
Then Everard's just had so much death in the past 24 hours.
I guess I could see something about the orb.
wait, what about the orb?
I might be able to.
That cut out.
Yeah, you might be able to.
I might be able to deduce its purpose.
And I'll
that
look
go
over
in?
you.
Fair.
That was good.
All right. Are you looking to cast Identify on it?
Not yet.
Okay. All right. Are you doing anything with the orb in the meantime?
Inspecting it, I guess.
Okay.
See if it's related to anything I might know about.
I will say that almost immediately, as somebody who is, as somebody who is at least skilled in the arcane arts, this to you looks like it would be this would be an arcane focus of some kind. Smith, also, as you are pulling out the book, whenever you were going through it, you notice that tucked underneath the stuffed animal in the box is a piece of paper.
Anything on the paper?
Yes, it is a drawing of the family. You see the father standing there with a book in his hand and a quill in the other. You see a proud smile on his face. You see the mother standing next to him. She has the orb that you just handed off to Kyra. She's holding that in her hand, and she has a cat sitting on her shoulder. And then you also see the young girl standing in front of them. She has a book in her hand as well, in one hand, and she has her stuffed little cheetah on the other, and you can see the ribbon, basically in imitation of her parents, and you can see the ribbon sort of like, wrapped around her shoulder and like down to the ground.
Who has a cat on their shoulder?
The little girl. Oh, sorry. Also the
Oh,
mother.
okay.
The mother actually has like what looks to be more of a real cat.
Okay.
Is there, assuming Smith or you said Smith had that as a vision or a picture?
No, it's actually like a drawing. Like they had somebody, they had commissioned somebody to draw the family. There's no photography technically.
Everard's gonna go back through the stagecoach and see if he can't find the stuffed cat, just to see if it was like an actual item or if it was just added.
And see what it's worth.
It was in the box.
Oh, the stuffed cat was in the box?
The stuffed cat was in the box with the other two belongings.
Then in that case, Everard's instantly gonna attempt to go back through the carriage or look around the surrounding area, suspecting that the actual cat, if not been killed, might still be around. I'm probably scared shitless.
Yeah, you see from around this, you see that there are no signs whatsoever of any like animal tracks or anything like that. Now, the thing to keep in mind with that is that for one, it is you don't know how long this you don't know when they were attacked, if there was any kind of like snow or anything like that has come down, which it is. I mean, it is always snowing. But if the wind blow, there might not be tracks to find.
Yeah.
Also, something that you all notice that is very odd, there's no reins to this carriage. There's no...
I was going to ask about that. I was literally going to ask about that before my power cut off. Like, were there any tracks of whatever?
You see on this, there are no reins. There is no hookups for reins at all.
It never had a horse on it.
From what it looks like, like you see that if you wanted to hook up a horse to this, you could not.
Kyra was hoping people would quietly move on and get bored of this, but since there doesn't seem to be anything to do at the moment, she will start casting Identify on the orb.
Okay. Are you casting it as a ritual?
Yes.
Okay.
Blue's gonna
So it takes like 10 minutes.
Further into the crown to see what's going on with that.
It's definitely a crown made of many arrows.
Everard's gonna essentially check.
Not a few, many.
Right. Many arrows. There's really nothing that you can determine from it. like again, it as the picture is as the picture shows, it's just something that you can throw on. If there is anything more to it, you are not able to discern. You know what? Actually, fuck it. Roll an Arcana check.
0.
You have a negative. Did you roll a 1?
Yeah,
Did you? Oh my god! No. You know what? No.
Nothing. Good day, sir.
You know what? You're like looking at this thing, and you're like, this. Of course, this doesn't have magic. This is the most you could make one out of twigs and leaves that would have more magic in it, because it would be made of your hands, and that would bestow upon you the magic of pride. Like this.
Wait, I'm sorry, I missed it. What was he trying to do?
He was rolling an I was having him roll an Arcana check to see what he could determine of the crown, of the War Chieftain Crown.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah, no, you think that it's just a crown, like it's just a thing that the one who's in charge wears.
Alrighty then.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask Kyra when she's done with the orb, see if she can take a look at it.
I love it.
I think this is the first time Wu is going to engage in conversation with Kyra rather than Kyra trying to talk to him.
I know.
So introduce yourselves then.
I love that concept of like Kyra's this super charismatic, young girl who's, trying to find her way in life and get this story written, and Wu's out here just like, murdering and taking claims, and he goes up, he's like, hey, what's this thing do?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Oh, so good. Okay.
In the meantime, Lucas, I was
Yes.
just going to say, Erard's more worried about if that cat was actually with the family or anything, so he's kind of looking around.
Yeah. Like I said, you don't see any sign.
It's just squad.
Yeah, like I said, you don't see any sign of
Jared would love to beef up the squad, but Erard would actually be more worried about the animal.
Yeah, you don't see anything. You don't see anything around that would even indicate that they had prepared to bring an animal.
Okay, that's more reassuring then. If there's like nothing whatsoever that even says that they would have brought an animal, that's more reassuring for Erard.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put the stuffed animal next to the little girl and put 3 people next to each other.
And what?
Put the 3 people next to each other, so
Okay.
they're like a family again.
Okay.
In the afterlife, sort of.
Well, wasn't the one
We don't
like
have any shovels to bury him, do we?
Wait, do we what?
We don't have any shovels, right?
I don't believe any of you do.
no?
I've got a javelin.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna dig a grave very well.
I mean, it would be kind of hard digging one of their graves because wasn't the one
I knew it
stomped on by an
mold
orc?
earth.
Yeah, like I said, you unfortunately do not see anything. You unfortunately do not see anything here that you could bury them with. They did not appear to have brought shovels. Something else I do want to bring up as you were going through the stuff in there, I want to point out that while they have some kindling, they have some firewood. One of the things that you noted, Smith, as somebody who has survived out here in the wilds, you notice they don't have tinder boxes or anything like that that could lead to starting fires.
Witch. Maybe witches.
Just wizard.
Faking their own death.
Oh yeah. Stab them a few times, see if they are.
Yeah, stab them.
Is that Groff actually saying that?
Yeah, stab them.
Does anyone do anything up until until the identify on the orb is done? During those 10 minutes.
Daydream about a walrus.
Okay.
I'll be just on the lookout for more
mean-
orcs.
I mean, honestly, now that I'm in where Justin plays D&D, it makes a lot of sense why he keeps bringing up walruses. There's a lot of walrus memorabilia around.
Oh God.
I got a few pinups on the wall above my monitor.
Nice.
You ever see
Yeah.
me just looking up like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they
Comfortable
could
do
get
you
in that
feel?
position.
Right? I think
All right.
69 is good. How about 6699? It's real good.
Oh God. Oh yeah. That's oh. All right. So yeah, identify is cast as a ritual on the orb. Yeah, Kyra, you are fucking Jared. um, you
I can tell
are.
you what this does. So I mean, I'm assuming you already know about identify, but it's like I have to touch it throughout
Yes.
the casting of the spell. If it's a magic item or some other
Yes.
magic imbued object, I learn its properties, how to use them, blah 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 blah.
Yep. So there is definitely something about this. So what this is you can once you actually do this, you immediately recognize that this is a you immediately recognize that this is in fact an arcane focus, that it does possess some kind of focusing ability when it comes to casting spells, but something else about it. It has stored within it a transmuted spirit. There is within it some kind of spirit, and it possesses transmutation magic.
Whip it out.
Well, it's very clear that this is a mage's focus, if you will, conduit through which to cast magic. But there's something else. Do I know there's a spirit in there?
I mean, being that your spell specifically says you learn whether any spells are affecting it and what they are, like, it's not a specific spell, but you can tell there is something in it. It feels as if there is a magical entity in it, like a magical spirit.
Oh, I don't like this orb at all. I think we should just leave it here. There's something else with this orb. I can't quite figure it out.
Maybe you should shake it up and ask it a question.
It's a magic 8-ball.
And don't really shake things I don't understand, Groff.
That was basic investigation.
Give it to Groff and maybe he'll shake it for us.
I'll shake it all if you know what I mean.
The picture showed the woman with it.
Yes, she is holding it in her hand.
I'll take it out of Kyra's hand and put it with her.
Okay.
If that's okay with Kyra.
It's a little bit abrupt and rude, but I agree it should be with the owner.
Gimme.
That's not yours.
Do you do anything else? Do you do anything else with the book?
There's no like charcoal to like. Is there any like dirt that I can like spray over the indentations to figure out what's written there?
I mean, if you wanted to look, so if you wanted to use dirt, you could. I would say maybe dirt might not give you the most, like the best impression off of it. If you wanted to maybe scour the caravan one more time.
Sure.
Okay.
Investigation?
Yeah, go and roll me another investigation. I'm going to say that you go through the stuff, but with as much chaos as in there, you're not able to find anything.
All right, I'll just leave it with the guy, who I'm assuming is Cameron.
Okay. Does anyone else want to do anything with the book, the orb, stuffed animal?
Hmm.
Who's going up to Kyra? Be like, hey, would you be able to see if this is anything special?
Well, yes, if you give me some time, but I think we should start getting a move on soon. Oh, I wish we had somebody more talented in the magical arts. They could probably do something more with that orb, but Yora, I don't suppose you happen to have any ideas?
I mean, nothing comes to mind. Most of my magical arts is animal companionship, not really dealing with this stuff. I mean, you said there was something about the orb that you didn't understand?
Yes, there's some kind of transmutation going on in the. So in the I definitely get the sense of a spirit in it.
What if it's the spirits of the family?
Do I know if it's one spirit or multiple?
It is one.
No, there's only one in it.
Could be just one of
Hmm.
them then.
Or it could be something else.
Could even be a boat.
God damn it.
I don't think boats have spirits, Groff. You have a very strange sense of humor.
Listen, if you don't believe boats don't have spirits, you haven't watched enough One Piece, right, Aaron?
No, he doesn't know that yet. He's
I
not
plead
there
the
yet.
fifth.
Might be there. Anyway, I don't think there's anything else I want to do.
I mean, I guess I can take a look at the orb. I don't have identify or anything like that. I can definitely take a look at it.
Yeah, I mean, to you, it looks like I said, it looks like a glassy.
Just the
It looks
glass
like it
orb.
almost just looks like a. I mean, this thing is probably about as big as a fushigi. Okay, yeah. So it's as big a fushigi.
That's wow. I haven't thought about that.
Yeah,
in
reference
10 years.
about the size of a baseball.
Thank you.
But it's a glass orb that has like a smoky, almost as if it looks like you had cast smoke in resin. Is really the only way that I can think of saying it.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
Clearly, it's just the sort of magical conduit that belonged to the woman, and there's something else going on with it, and I don't think I have any right, nor do I have any knowledge to interfere with it.
I mean, you said there's a spirit in it?
Yes.
Anybody know of anyone that can talk to spirits inside inanimate objects?
The only thing I have is find familiar. If the spirit could be the woman's familiar by chance.
Yeah, but find familiar doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't, because it only finds yours.
Mm-hmm.
Yours are dead.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Well, then I think we gather up the things, maybe leave the spooky orb, and let's get a move on. Like Kyra said.
That's what I'm thinking.
Are
Okay.
lanterns any better than torches?
Lanterns are a little better than torches.
I'll take the lantern. I'll take the 2 lanterns and the fuel.
Okay.
Wait,
Listen, the rest of you have been in
Smith,
Icewind Dale for so long. What?
I was gonna say about the book.
What about it?
Didn't you say there was indentations in the book or something?
I did.
Can I see the book real fast?
Do you want to look for charcoal as well?
Yeah,
All right,
I
go ahead and
think I'm
give.
going to do that because I have a feeling that maybe the book isn't just a journal and the indentations might be more spell-like. Just,
Go ahead and give me an investigation check. As
well, I have
you,
a +0, so
anybody can help you.
I
Wait,
got
you're
an
looking for.
18.
I'm sorry,
got
you're
an
looking for
18?
charcoal?
Yep.
Do you
I
have
guess you found
charcoal?
it if it's there. No.
Oh, okay.
This whole time he's had charcoal.
I was gonna
No,
say,
I had an idea, but if he finds some, it's fine.
oh, what were you gonna burn something and use some soot?
Yeah.
Yep. That's also an option. That was another thing I had thought of. Yes. Inside. So when Smith was going through it, he had inadvertently moved some of the scraps of clothing in the burlap sacks to the side. When you go in there, you start looking through the shreds of this of these sacks, and in one you're able to find a few pieces of paper and a piece of charcoal.
Sweet. I'll look to Smith and be like, give me that book real fast and I'll see if I can get some of these rubbings or indentations out.
I'll do so. I'll give it to
Okay.
him.
And
All right.
Erard will start doing that.
Okay. So you go about, doing a charcoal etching on the back of these pages. And almost instantly you are able to see you're able to see essentially diagrams of different arcane procedures. These appear to be alchemical or, less like, of a bard's magic or something like that, and more of somebody that was not naturally gifted in magic, attempting to harness that, almost artificer like. And in the one, as you are doing this etching, you see a crude diagram of what appears to be the orb being placed inside of what looks like a cat. And then there is...
Which way?
Not that way. Actually, it appears as if there is like a slice down the stomach, and that it is like being inserted into it. But underneath it are 3 symbols that you don't recognize. But Smith, as you're watching him do this, you recognize these symbols almost immediately. And Wu, they're also coming to your attention as well, because these are giant runes. These are the old runes.
Giant runes.
Yes. And the one symbol is that of lightning. The one symbol is of love. And the third symbol is that of life.
So live, laugh, love. Runes.
Yeah. If you want, thunder to be laughter or lightning,
Yeah.
it's lightning specifically.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for them to share with the group what the runes mean, since I have no idea.
I'll share with them.
Okay.
And
So it's kind of like energy, love, and brings life or something like that. It deals with the orb, but
maybe you stick it inside of the stuffed cat and it brings it to life?
Does anybody know any electric spells?
no.
I think we stuff the orb in the cat and zap it, and we get a new pet. No?
Don't know any electric spells.
Oh, I was hoping we could just move on, but now the curiosity is starting to get the best of me. I'm going to take the orb again.
Okay.
It's so mysterious. There must be a solution to this. Who has the book?
I do.
Would you like to carry the orb or give the book to me?
I'll give the book to you. See if you can make any sense out of it, since your arcane knowledge is more vast than just animals than
Well,
mine.
I don't know wizard, but I do know quite a bit of stories about wizards. But maybe there's something in my memory that could
And the
or
only other
that
thing
could
I could say
be
is we
helpful.
try Woo's idea of putting it in the stuffed cat, and Woo's and Groff's idea, but I just don't. I
Well, I
have no
suppose there have
form
been
of.
stranger things. I suppose stranger things have happened.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As
But
long as
I
it's
just
not an
look,
arrow.
look, I'll take a look at this crown when we get to Brennstrand. We're losing Twilight.
Sounds good to me.
did we bring the stuffed cat just so we can try it as well, just in case.
I'll bring it.
And you said it was a cheetah, though, specifically.
Yeah.
I thought I heard cheetah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a cheetah, and it has like a ribbon tied around its tail. It's like a few feet long.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you one thing. That must be at least somewhat good evidence that these people are not from Icewind Dale. Despite the book even said so, right?
Yeah,
they came to Icewind Dale.
The father had moved there with his wife, and that's where they actually had that's actually where they had their kid.
Gotcha. Gonna have to attempt to solve this mystery another day. Let's get to Brennstrand.
Agreed.
All right, so you guys grab the yeah, so with that, you guys grab the stuff there. Do you do anything with the rest? Like, do you do anything with the carriage or anything like that before you guys leave, or do you leave it there?
Where Smith put the bodies, I will utter apologies of taking this thing, but going to try to figure out what your orb is up to and figure out what your story is. And make sure you don't just die an anonymous death in the middle of nowhere in Icewind Dale. At least that's how she's justifying it.
Okay. All right. So, with that, you guys begin making your way downtown.
As we are
I'll tell you one
journeying,
thing, the orb is probably not cursed.
as we are journeying, I think Gerard's gonna look at Kira and Groff and be like, you know what, just to get it out of the way while we're still walking, you want to just try putting the orb inside of the cat and see if something happens?
I'll get the lube.
I don't think that's
I
necessary.
know you're always eager to gain more animal companions, Rod, but it sounds a little. Well,
It's more
Gruesome.
worrying to me because in the picture,
I'll give it a shot just for you. Okay, here, here's the orb. Try putting it in the stuffed doll.
all right, can I get the cat, Groff,
I'll give him the cat.
without the lube?
All right.
They're all dogging it. That's dangerous.
Yeah, I'm assuming you take like, one of your daggers or like a small knife and,
Yeah.
Yeah, so you do this. You place the orb inside. Nothing happens.
Thinking back of the ruins and everything else, I think I'm gonna try. I don't want to say etch, but like kind of with just my finger or whatnot, draw the runes to the best of my capability. I don't want to etch it or like scratch up the feline or anything like that.
I mean, I'll say like
Just-
you can sort of like trace on it,
Yeah.
but nothing happens.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna. In that picture, there was the picture of the cat and the orb and the stuffed animal, and in the book, there's the indication of all three of them. If there's a soul trapped inside of the orb, it's the cat's soul, no doubt about that, due to the book. And this is just very worrisome to me, to where I have some dark powers of my own. I would never do this to an animal. And this is just concerning because essentially it's just a trapped soul now.
I think you're overthinking it, boyo.
Well, we simply just don't have enough information at this point.
No, we do not.
I'm sure if we spend enough days in Icewind Dale, we're going to come across something related to this orb, and
I'll
perhaps
have to
even the
talk to
family.
I'll talk to my patron and see if he knows anything about it when we have a chance to rest.
Say Patreon.
I think he
I
did.
was thinking the same thing.
All right.
Yeah, I'll just check my patrons. Once we reach our next sub goal, then we'll get the answers we need.
There you go.
I mean, hey, this brings us to our sponsor for the stream, Raid Chat.
Raid Shadow Legends.
ExpressVPN.
Oh yeah.
Blue Chew, motherfuckers. Lucas's brother approves.
Oh god. Yep. Needs to get that dick up. All
No
right.
shame.
No shame
Thank
at
God
all.
we don't have. Thank God we don't have a wide audience for our Twitch.
Yeah. All this one viewer that just says "want to be famous" by followers.
They were there last time.
They're there every fucking second. It's always random too. All right. Along the way, do you cast identify as a ritual on the crown, or do you wait until you are in or until you are in Bryn Shander?
I didn't realize it was something I could do while traveling. I suppose if there's no interruptions, I'll give it a shot.
So I was just asking. I didn't know because I mean with ritual casting, I believe you would have to stop and do it. I just didn't
That's
know
what I
if
assumed.
yeah. So
Well,
No,
Groff
it's
needs
really-
a restroom break. If I mean Justin doesn't, but Groff does. So if that gives him the 10 minutes it takes, 10 minutes.
yeah.
I think technically, 10 minutes. No, 10
Okay.
minutes. No, I think it would be more Cairo to rather get to town before darkness,
Okay.
because
Yeah.
let's not encounter any danger if we can avoid it.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is like I keep looking through it. I actually don't think there is no role. There is no raw role about ritual casting that makes you like stop and do it. It is just that it takes 10 minutes longer than normal. It doesn't expend a spell slot, and you're basically concentrating on it. Like you cannot cast a spell like it's as if you are concentrating on it for those 10 minutes, which means that you could cast this as you are walking. I don't see a reason why. It's if you want to do it.
If you're giving it to me, then yeah, might as well.
Yeah, I'm doing like a quick search, and there's nothing that says that there's nothing that says that you have to like stop and sit and do it. So yeah. So if that's the case, if you are going to do that, Kyra, so the War Chieftain Crown It is slightly magical to a degree. And it is that it allows you to use the battle cry ability once per day. What that means is each creature of the wearer's choice that is within 30 feet of it that can hear it can gain advantage on attack rolls until the start of the wearer's next turn. The wearer can then make one attack as a bonus action. So it is an action to use this. I'm going to post. There is the text in the chat. So
Bless you.
yes. So that is the ability that is like what you get out of this thing. You can sense that this has the ability to bestow that to somebody who is wearing it.
Is it like you use a command word?
No, basically you are invoking the power of it in the battle cry. So it's not
Okay.
necessarily like a specific command word, but it is like,
Okay. Yeah, once I'm finished, I will turn to Wu as we're walking and say, "Well, Wu, I got good news for you. This chieftain's crown very much suits you. Since you like to charge into battle."
I can tell it's driving
And
Altman nuts that he's
I'll
hearing
give
himself.
What?
I said I can tell it's driving you nuts that you can hear yourself because every time I hear the faint echo, you're like looking over at Justin.
Also, just like looking what he's doing.
yeah.
He's
Having a
got
Zelda
his
game.
ultra wide. He's got like D&D. He's got our cameras. He's got our faces, and then he's got like the Discord channel. So I'm not used to so much. I'm not used to the information overload because it's just me at home with one screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Woo, all you have to do is channel your inner warrior like you usually do, but you let out the just cry, and it'll empower our allies. And she'll hand it to him. It only works once a day though.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you much.
Oh,
Alright.
I did just remember. A lot of things has happened since then. It's on my notepad at my computer. I think I got like 6 gold or something from trading the tailor from Woo's scraps and pelts.
Sure.
So
Sounds
it
about
was
right.
something like that, and she'll hand that to Woo. I forgot to give this back to you about the pelts you gave me to tell you to the tailor. This is what
I
he
was getting
paid.
hunted by the mob.
You said 6?
Yeah. I think it was 6.
I will say 6.
He's going to tell you to keep half of it.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
And he'll just nod his head to you.
Critical conversation plot.
Yeah, I love it. All right, so
RP everything, I can't help it.
yeah.
Well,
All
most
right.
things, at least.
So, as you guys continue on, it takes a little bit of time. Like I said, it's only about 3 miles, to go from Targos to Bryn Shander, but in the snow, it's about 2 hours, and you had encountered that whole scene, that gruesome scene, about an hour ago. And as the next hour is rolling by, it's now 3:00 in the afternoon.
Or like an hour of twilight, I think.
At this point, it is yes. Well, no, Twilight has Twilight has been gone. Twilight was dwindling at 2:00, and now it is dark.
All right, time to bust out my new cantrip.
Oh,
Not dancing lights, just light.
okay. Yeah. Are you casting it?
Just. Oh yeah, I have to cast it on an object.
Right.
I guess my loot.
Okay. You cast it on your loot, and your loot begins to glow in a 20-foot, or in a 40-foot radius. Yep,
I was
40-foot
gonna
radius.
say, since Auror's
Yeah,
been the
20
lantern.
Bright light in 20 feet, and then
Right.
dim light for an additional 20.
Yep, color however
The
you
light can be
like.
colored as you like, so violet.
Nice. All right. Also Smith. I know I did sort of gloss over it, and I apologize. You had picked up 2 hooded lanterns from the garage, and I had what was it? Oh, holy shit. I had rolled that before and it wasn't nearly that many. 8 flasks of oil. You
Holy shit.
You got super lucky there, man.
We got light for days.
Yeah, you do. Jesus
Oh, yeah.
Christ.
Just don't give anything to Groff.
Aye.
Yeah, so you
I'm
have
gonna toss that oil like nobody's business.
yeah, you can go in you can add a 2 hooded lanterns and then 8 flasks of oil.
So, Lucas,
Yeah.
the crown, does it need to be attuned or?
I haven't made it, but yes, it is going to need to be attuned. Because it's
Oh.
not actually an item.
How much oil?
8 flasks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wonder
All right.
how much is in a flask, like a pint?
I know somebody.
surely it's not something small like a hip flask for alcohol or something.
Yeah, it holds 1 pint.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So it
That's a lot of
can
oil.
yeah, you can splash the oil into the flask. You can splash the oil in this flask onto a creature within 5 feet, or throw it up to 20 feet, shattering an impact, make a ranged attack against a target creature, treating the oil as an improvised attack. And then, yeah, so there's all that, but the hooded lanterns, they use 1 pint every 6 hours. So I'm pretty sure Gerard has gone through the 2.
Yes.
Yes. So that's it. It's every 6 hours that you have it. Now, if you have light, obviously you can just cast light and have that, and it covers more or less the same area. The hooded lantern is 30 foot or bright, 30 foot dim, so it is a little bit bigger of an area. So keep that in mind. But yes, after the hour, you guys begin to see the walls of the largest settlement here in Icewind Dale. Now, those of you that are from here, so obviously that's going to be Groff, Wu, and Smith, the 3 of you are well aware that Bryn Shander is often the first stop for most visitors in Icewind Dale, as it sits right on the intersection of... Pull this up. Actually, that's really kind of hard to see. Where the fuck is it? I had this map somewhere else, and now I can't seem to find it.
Just go ahead and post up the snowstorm map. We'll understand.
Yeah, there you go. But basically, this is so the 3 of you know, like, there is a road, there's a trail that goes up through the spine of the world known as 10 Trails, and that leads directly to Bryn Shander. I keep referencing the map I have on the wall over there.
As if we can see it.
Yeah, as if you guys can even see it. But again, those of you
played in person.
Yeah, those of you that are native to the region, you know that this is the largest city. It is a walled town perched atop a cold, lonely, wind-lashed hill. As you reach the walls, which stand some 30 feet high, they're defined by 2 concentric rings of upright wooden poles, the gap between them filled with dirt and rubble. The outer ring of poles rises above the top of the wall, providing a rampart for defenders stationed on the wooden planked walkways that go across the top. As you are making your way up, you get to this spot down here in the... Yeah.
Are the walls like noticeably bigger than the other towns we've been to, or at least Kyra's been to?
Yes. The other ones...
Wow, this place is massive.
Yeah. Not only that, but like the sheer size between the two is also vastly more noticeable.
We found the capital of this continent.
Oh, yeah, here it is. There we go. Yeah, there you go. That's the 10 trail that leads up to Bryn Shander. So like I said, it is sort of the main space there. But just in what's up?
I never saw what you did.
Oh,
tried to load it.
I can always pull it up later for you. And it's nothing that you need like right off the top. But yeah, you can see like the sheer size difference between Targos, where the buildings are about that big, versus Bryn Shander.
Yeah.
So it is about 3 to 4 times the size of Targos, and far larger in comparison to the first town that you guys had stopped in, Bremen, which didn't even have walls. It just led straight off into the wilderness. Again, Bryn Shander is sort of the main town of 10 towns. It is the one that is most populated and most known. As, like I said, you guys get to these 30-foot high walls. You can see that the walls have hinged gates that are 15 feet tall. They are iron-barred wooden beams, and when you guys get there, the sun has gone down at this point, and you get there, and the gates are closed.
Any of you Icewind Dale residents happen to know how to get in?
Do I know any way to get in, or can I roll a check?
Yeah, there's basically like an access door to the right that you can knock on to talk to a guard.
And I'm sorry, which part of the wall are we at?
Oh, you're on the
southwest.
Southwest. You guys were coming
that's
from the
fine.
west. Yep.
Okay. From the west.
From the west.
From the west.
Groff will go up and knock on the door then.
Okay. You knock on the door. After a moment, you hear somebody walk up to it. You see the little slide open, and another dwarven nose peeks its way out and says, "What?"
I don't suppose we can gain some passage into Bryn Shander, sir?
He like looks out across all of you. You know, he sees the dwarf in he sees the dwarf standing there in his leather armor. He sees Yorard standing there with Niagiri, the Goliath. He sees the hunter, or the fighter standing there with the... Do you still have knoll heads on you, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
And then
I've what is it? I'm the warlord Nullhead.
Right. And, man, I keep thinking that's so gross, but that is so in character that I'm just really proud of you, man.
Toss a coin to your Witcher.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense for his character.
According to your Witcher, value plenty.
And then he looks at you, Kyra, seeing the light beaming off of your loot. He says, "We don't normally let in rabble rousers. What business do you have here?"
Well, you see, we're actually looking for
Michelle?
What was Keegan's cousin's name again? See, I
Mission.
don't have my notes, so it's hard.
Mission.
Mission.
Hold on, lads and lasses. Let me tell you how to talk to a dwarf. It's
Oh,
feckin'
no.
cold. Let me in.
You'll freeze your fucking nards off before you talk to me like that.
I talked to you like that last week.
I'll talk to you however the fuck I want.
Lean over to Yarod and whisper, "Is this really how dwarves talk to each other?"
I don't know.
Did your mother enjoy the slaving I gave to her?
Oi, she did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Said it was
Right.
better than the one I gave my mother.
Yeah?
Wait a minute. Look, let me in, buy you an ale, call it even.
You know what? We'll make a deal on that one. And, you see the little slide shuts back over.
Erard links back to Kira. I guess that's how they normally talk to each other.
I mean, hey, come on. You know, dwarves are all just drunk Scots, right?
That's how I imagine them.
You hear the sounds of iron locks shifting and sliding out of place, and then you see two metal chains that are anchored into the door beginning to lift it up, hinged about halfway up the wall. And standing there, you can see a dwarf that is completely head to toe bundled in warm weather, cold weather clothing. You can basically make, like, his beard is sort of hanging out, almost like Kenny from South Park style, where you just see, like, the dwarven nose and a beard and a bit of a mustache. And, he goes up to you, Groff, and, gives you a pat on the arm and says, "Now, when are we having that beer?"
Oh yeah, I hope PBR's okay. I'm kind of poor.
You know what? As soon as my shift
Wait, let me guess. Paylor's Blue Ribbon.
Right?
It is now! Yes! Fucking... oh my god. I want to imagine in that realm, after you guys basically save the world,
Smith branded Paylor everything.
Smith the cleric, and Swigs the gnome end up going and starting a brewery called PBR for Paylor's Blue Ribbon. Yes. Oh my god, fucking love that. And he says, he looks at you, and he says, "You'll owe me one. I'll be I got to finish up my shift here on the gate watch, but I will meet you whenever my shift is done over at the North Look."
I see you there. I know exactly where it's at.
Do ya?
Can I roll to see if I know exactly where it's at?
Sure.
Erard, I was gonna say, just during the conversation, Erard's just gonna go, "Groff, something's telling me it might be near the North Gate."
Go ahead and roll me a history check.
What would give you that idea, Jared? I don't know where it's at.
Yeah.
I feel like you need to focus on D&D instead of flying around with one wing at Star Fox.
Yeah, that was a bad choice.
You have no. So the last time that Groff was in Bryn Shander, was the last time that you got into a fairly. Well, it was the last time that you were sober and you got into a fairly gnarly fight. And the as you think back to that, the last thing you can remember is a gnome punching you in the dick. over you insulting them, and just everything else was blanked out after that as you woke up in Termaline.
Seems about right.
Yeah. So
let's say I forgot where that is. Where is it?
Woo, I also saw yours. You also do not know where it is.
Yeah.
And he says, yeah, that's what I thought. You're just going to follow the main road down to the center of town, and you'll see it on the left. It is the largest building there, which you can see on the map. If you zoom into the center of town, it is the one that has the circular feature to the roof, like right up in the center of town.
Everard
right
is
here?
gonna.
Yes.
Oh, that one.
Oh, wait,
Everard is gonna look.
That one or this one?
This one.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Where the penis is. Thanks, Aaron.
Yes, where the penis is.
If you squint, it kind of looks like a penis.
A bent penis. A really sad penis.
This one looks more like a penis.
Yes, it does.
That one's ready to go. The one we're going to is spent for the night.
Yeah.
It needs our sponsor Blue Chew's help.
Oh, God.
This podcast is sponsored by Blue Chew.
Sorry, I got distracted by a cat. What's with that building?
That is the North Look. That's the place that you guys are going. That's the inn and tavern. The dwarf as he's lowering the gate back down. He says, "I'll be coming to meet up with you in a few hours, once my shift is over." And he holds his hand out to shake yours.
I'll grasp his arm and give it a hearty shake.
Yes, and he introduces himself as Ragrum Brawnhold.
Brownhold.
Brawnhold.
Brown hole.
Yes.
Everard's gonna ask him, "Hey, since we're new in town, do you know where it was what, a monastery or something that mission was in?"
That's
a cat.
That is a cat.
Oh my God! The orb and the stuffed animal worked.
Stealing your cat, Justin.
Guys, you figured it out. You figured out my puzzle. I cut the electricity. I cut the electricity to Altman's house, and now him traveling to Justin's represents the electricity, the love, and the life.
There you go, Lucas. I give you inspiration for
that. You know what? Let me roll to see if this guy knows. He's a dwarf, so I'll maybe give him a +1. Oh yeah, which monastery are you looking for?
They say which monastery or no? I don't remember if they did.
I know Altman would have those notes written if he had his computer.
If I had access to them.
Right. She was a priest of a Minotaur.
Okay.
That's what it is.
A Minotaur.
Right, a Minotaur.
So proud of you,
badass.
Aaron. Good job, buddy. The person I'm looking for is a priest of Amator, or I probably butchered the name, but I'm a foreigner.
A Minotaur.
Yes.
A Minotaur.
And he reaches into his clothing and he pulls out he pulls out a religious symbol. And it is this. He says, "Of course I know where that is. I am a practitioner myself of the Sun Lord."
Thought that was the logo from PBR.
Well, you see, the folks of the realm, you know, whether it be a Minotaur, which is the true name of the Morning Lord. Some in the south call the god Lithander, but Pelor is also a worshipped aspect of a Minotaur.
Somewhere, Smith, not this Smith, a different Smith, is getting really pissed off about this religious propaganda.
He's gonna write a pamphlet.
Yeah, I'll say he's not there to be bestowing a pamphlet.
Mm.
He gives you the directions to there. Which I'm going to say, I don't know if this actually.
Whichever building
Yes.
you want.
No, there is actually a spot.
Is it by chance where the penis was?
No, it is not where the penis was, and that's I'm making a stand to that one.
It's this one.
No, it's not. Such a dick. You're such a penis.
He said it.
Lucas is going to give us all a new link to a new Encounter Plus
And
circle
he's
screen.
except
Except
Aaron.
for Aaron.
No, it is going to be right here. It is a modest converted.
I wasn't that far off.
You weren't that far off. No. It is a
So
modest.
that's where the penis was.
It is a modest converted house. Located near the northeast market square. So, there you go.
Woohoo! Look to the group and say, should we go there since we have a few hours
Also, can you
before
bring
we...
up the map so I can see?
What? Oh,
Thank you.
should...
Also, I might be staying a lot longer than anticipated.
Fellow's not going anywhere. Warn you right now.
Did the cat just sit on your lap? Are
So
you
you're just
now...
trying to get rid of my cat scent.
You're now
I know
permanently
cats work,
stuck. You have been
psychopaths.
chosen.
If you want to keep the cat, none of us would object. There's nothing wrong with her. Nothing at all.
Something tells me there might be something wrong with her.
I'm impressed he hasn't smelled her yet.
yeah. All right. So where are you guys heading first?
Everard will look to the group and say, should we go find mission since we have a few hours before we have to meet your new friend, Groff?
I suppose that would be best to familiarize ourselves with the town.
I want to try and find a merchant or something and see if I can't sell this hide armor. Earn a little bit of coin.
That's exactly what Woo's gonna do.
Yeah, is that what you're gonna do?
I think we should go find mission first.
Okay. Yeah, you guys can head to see mission first.
Yeah, because Everard's not
Groff,
pulling from the group again. Last time he did, he got attacked by
No,
the Russian
absolutely
mafia.
not. We're in a new city. We should be sticking together. Also, Groff, I have to say, you dwarves are fascinating people. You insult each other as a way of greeting.
That's all I know. I often get called an asshole by the people closest to me. It's weird.
Oh man.
Laughter turns into tears.
All right. So you guys, so like I said, Ragrim, he explains to you how to get to, not only the North Look, but also to the House of the Morning Lord. He explains that you are going to head up the main road into the center of town. Once you get in there, you're going to go to the right to the eastern road and make the second left, and you'll see it. It's the second building on your left. Along the way, when you get to this center market square, as I said, right now it is about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So the sun has gone down. It is fairly dark, but you can see that there are still a few people, trying to sell some wares outside. Most people are completely bundled up. It is near impossible to really make anyone out, other than just like, generic shapes and figures. For all you know, the person that you're passing could be 3 kobolds in a trench coat.
Oh no.
But
Roll initiative.
Roll initiative.
Kill him.
But one of the places that you can see that does sort of have some people standing around, and you're not exactly sure if it's because there is anything good going on there or if it's just because of the bright glow that you see from it. But right over here on the north side of this market, it might be a little hard to see, but it's this building right here. Oh my god, why can't I want it right?
Justin, zoom out on the map. I don't know where he's referring to.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right where
the
penis is. Yeah, this there are like spots on my screen where like it does not let me touch it. But right here, this building, you see there's a fair amount of people standing around it, and as you look, you actually realize why. It is because this is where the combination shop and smithy is. There is a massive forge that is burning there, that you see people hanging around and sitting outside as you see a dwarf there hammering away at pieces of equipment.
All right, listen, lads, I know the lost dwarf I made fun of, and that got us in. But it's a cardinal sin to insult a dwarf while he's doing his craft. Specifically that craft. So don't say nothing stupid. Woo.
Why you gotta look at me?
I look at the knoll heads on his belt, look at him in the face, and you'll know why.
There's only one goal head. God damn it.
And it's the chieftains.
Yeah. It is the most important one.
That's right. Yeah.
So what kind of crowd? What kind of crowd size are we talking about? Are we talking about like 5 or like 15?
It's somewhere in between there. It's maybe about a dozen people standing there.
Okay.
So
this guy's at least pretty popular.
You could assume that. You might also think that it could be the forge, just providing a general heat
just
and
being warm.
Yeah. Being that right now it is, probably like negative 30 degrees outside. This smoldering forge probably attracts a fair amount of people to just stand by and hang out if they're not inside. So you go through the town square here, or you go through the main square here, and you round the corner, and eventually you come to what was described to you as the House of the Morning Lord. As I said, it is a modest, converted house that serves as a gathering place for the worshippers of a Monitor. I also wanted to say that as you are walking through Bryn Shander, you notice that whereas the other towns, most of the roads and pathways in between buildings were more or less abandoned, and most people were inside. Here, where those of you that are from the Dale know that friendliness across the Dale has dwindled as of late. You can imagine that this place is probably suffering a little bit because not many people are coming here, and so there is less time for mirth. But they still have the bright lantern suspended over the streets that twist and wind. So there is at least some light here that is adding flecks of color to the town's otherwise drab surrounding.
So where the other towns are more or less just everybody's sick and tired and everything else, they're trying to at least make this town a little better to try and keep some
to keep up the friendliness, the comfort, and also to try and get people in there.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, this is also, I did mean to share it with you guys. This is the heraldry that you saw whenever you approached Bryn Shander. That is the symbol of Bryn Shander. Black antlers over a vertical shaft of golden wheat on a white field. Signifying the town's strength and prosperity on the vast snowy tundra.
Hey, Lucas.
Yo.
Just a heads up, gray is not a great color to use to outline buildings.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I was like, I want it to be it's a whatever I said it was, but yeah, I know. I don't even think I can erase it now. What the fuck? Why can't I erase it? There we go.
Like dead zones on your iPad or what?
No, for some reason it just we're gonna do green. Actually, no, we're gonna do yellow. For some reason, there's times where it I have to start. I can't draw right on that, but I can start over here and then go there. It's not a dead zone. It just doesn't register on the map. And I think it's not the iPad. It has more to do with it has more to do with the map itself. I think it's like once I draw on it, like it creates like, some shit on it.
Yeah. Well, plus you're using like what, iPad Air 1, right?
No, it's an iPad 7th gen.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. Yeah. It's weird.
But yeah, it's fuck. This is like, yeah. See, now it's not registering anywhere near there.
Is your hand resting on it or anything?
Nope, I have a glove on.
He's got a special glove.
Okay, so try it without the glove, like with nothing.
I know,
touching the
like
screen.
even using my finger.
Okay.
Yeah, that's weird. Oh wait, maybe I can do. Nope. Yeah. Like I can just do this. I can't even do that. Like it doesn't even let me put it on there. I don't know. Like it's a really weird thing with it. It'll probably work if I close the map out, close the app out, and then restart it all. But I'm just not doing that. I'll do it later. Again, that's just to signify.
I'll call for you. We'll get it fixed.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was just signifying where that the smith and the smithy is located, known as Black Iron Blades. So yeah, you guys go up to this building highlighted in orange, and when you walk in, you see that this place has, like I said, it has sort of been modified to be a place of worship. There are some pews and an altar at the front. There is a few fires burning in here, so there is a good amount of warmth in here once you walk in. And you see that there's a few people sitting in there that are sitting in the pews and praying, and you see at the very front is a woman, and she is dressed as such, and she is currently giving a prayer to the god Amonitor, where you can hear her sort of finishing up. She says, and our prayers will be answered soon, I believe. We will bring the light of Amonitor back to Icewind Dale, and we will have prosperity once again. You hear a murmuring across the crowd, and then she sees all of you standing up front.
The ragtag group.
Yes. And she gets a little bit of a confused look on her face, and she looks at all the people that are sitting there in the pews, and she says, that will be the service for today. You are welcome to stay and enjoy the warmth that a monitor gives us, but I must attend to something. And you hear some murmuring, the folks that are sitting there, they're, chatting with one another. And she walks up to all of you, and she bows her head respectfully, and she says, "Greetings, travelers. How may I help you? What has brought you into the light of a monitor today?"
Pardon me, do you happen to be Mirshin, cousin of Keegan?
Yes. You see like a moment of like happiness in her eyes, as she hears, the name of her cousin, but then she like sees all of you and sort of the states that you're in, considering, Urard is at 11 hit points, and you guys are, battle worn to a degree, and she says,
Seeing the look, Aurora just goes, "He's okay, I promise."
Well, we got his partner back to him, Garrett. They're both safely in Targos.
I wasn't aware that anything had happened to Garrett. What was the situation? Is he all right?
Yeah,
Yes, they're all right.
A-okay.
Just ran into some trouble on an expedition
Nobody's
to the
dead.
Dwarven Valley.
Okay, that's good. I know Garrett enjoys his traveling. Keegan has always been more of a homebody.
But yeah, we actually just left from down there. Keegan told us to come find you to maybe help us out a bit. Kind of have
We
some
had
people
some
that want you
unfortunate
dead.
incident in Toragos regarding the town
Yeah.
speaker, so we
Oh.
needed to get away for a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It wasn't
Did-
anything that we did, really.
I would hope not. I know that town speaker over in Targos is a decisive man, but I know that he is beloved by the townsfolk. I hope that there has not been any foul run amok.
Nothing that we started.
Aye.
No,
She sort of raises an eyebrow at that, and she says, "Well, I am not here to judge. But what brings you to our humble house of warmth?"
just I guess we need a place to stay, and Keegan just said that you would be able to help us in a way to just help us out for a bit, or hide us or something. That way we're not, just in case if
Eh,
worse comes to worse.
And if it helps, we, as we said, we've managed to get Garrett and Keegan back together after being separated on his expedition. So we're proven adventurers. So if there's something we can help you with in exchange,
Yeah, we'll earn our keep.
They'll earn their keep. No, I
she
would.
she sort of looks at all of you and she says, "Oh, well, I suppose I can't help but ask, are you from the Dale?"
I'm
well, me and
not.
you and myself, we only just got here about 6 days ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
about that.
roughly.
And she looks at Wu, Smith, and Groff. "And yourselves?"
These folks are definitely more residents here. They've been helping us along, that's for sure.
Yeah, they have.
Woo's gonna nod.
Aye, we have.
There was a fourth one of them, but
Who?
His legs
Oh,
are broken and
the
he's
good-
in a cave.
So my name is Woo, not Who.
Oh, my mistake.
God.
Woohoo.
And she looks and she nods and she says, well, I suppose I could ready some beds. I don't have the most spacious accommodations, but I do have a room that you could stay in. And you see that she walks over to a set of stairs that are here, and she peers up and she says, Copper, could you come down here? We have guests. We need to make arrangements."
And the Hunchback of Notre Dame comes down the stairs.
Actually,
Gonna
you...
warboard?
No, it is not.
Hunchback of Notre Dame, known as Quasimodo.
Quasimodo. No, from you hear some like shuffling and shifting from upstairs, and you hear a voice, almost like screech down that says, "I'll be down there in a second. Just give me a minute. I'm up here trying to clean. Only one that
no, some
cleans
man
around
fell
here."
over.
Is it the gnome that punched Groff in the dick?
Is it the mayor of Flandish?
Is it Kevin?
It's not the mayor of Flandish. Oh God, fucking Harbin Wester. Yeah, Harbin Wester. God damn it, Goku.
There it is.
Now you hear this, like I said, you hear this fairly nasally voice come from upstairs, and it says, "Damn, I'm the only one that does the cleaning around here." And you see Mishan walks over She rolls her eyes and she says, "He is not the only one that cleans around here. He is just the only one that complains about it."
Uh, there's somebody like that in every place.
Yes, well, he is a friend of mine, but can be a bit chaotic at times.
I'm sure if we all pitched in to help out, we can get the cleaning done even faster.
Well, it is gracious of you to offer, but I believe he and I can handle it. You seem to have your hands full as it is. And so after a few moments, walking down the stairs, you see a gnome, a rock gnome, who is walking down. Well, I say a rock gnome, but that's more information that you can tell, because what you see walking down the stairs is a gnome-sized creature in a fuzzy suit and hood that almost makes him look like a teddy bear.
A
teddy bear.
Oh, I just want to hug him.
Yeah.
It's an Ewok.
Yeah.
Yep, nub.
Yup, no.
The truth of speaking teddy bear.
Funny enough, like this is one of the images that comes up whenever I search for this character.
That's adorable.
But this is this is more appropriate to what he looks like.
The first image is what Groff is seeing him.
Oh, absolutely. That's what you're all seeing. But he comes down. You see that he has a broom and dustpan in his hands. He is likewise, even though he is wearing this giant fuzzy suit, you can see that he has the symbol of. You actually see something slightly different on him, whereas Mission has the symbol of a monitor, which I have up there. You actually see this gnome has a slightly different symbol, and that is this.
Do I recognize that?
You can definitely roll a religion check if you want to try and discern what that symbol is.
I got plus 0, but I'll give it a shot too.
There's a better one.
I don't know.
Hell yeah, let's give it a shot. Hey, Woo rolled another 0.
Jesus Christ, Aaron.
I got 15.
Yeah, those of you that are making the attempt to discern what this is, it's actually fairly it's when you look at it, it's one of those things where, like, I think that's what it is, and then it sort of clicks for you. This is the symbol of Lathander. It shows a sun, a set, some hills. And
this is like distinctly different from a monitor.
Yes and no. There is so with the 19 in religion, Kyra, you know that a monitor is the god that so a monitor is the old god. A monitor is the greater deity of sun and warmth and mornings and birth and renewal, whereas Lathander is the same thing, but during the spell plague, a monitor was split from him. Or sorry, a monitor had an aspect of him split off, and that became Lathander. So it is known that there are two distinct gods, a monitor and Lathander, but they are more or less synonymous with one another because Lathander is an aspect of a monitor.
Okay.
So, you know that, like I said, it is mostly the Southerners, mostly the people in the South that describe that worship Lathander, whereas a Monitor is more Northern and more old religion.
Got it.
So yeah, you see, he comes down. He looks up at all of you and has a bit of like a scrunched up nose and says, "What is this? Why did I come down here? I was in the middle of cleaning." And
Mission's still with us, right?
yeah, Mission
Oh,
looks
sorry.
over. Yeah, Mission looks over and she says, "I said we have guests. We need to arrange accommodations. They will be staying with us for a time." And he looks at you all. He looks at Smith standing there in his Goliath form, and he says, "And where are we putting them? In the stables? I don't have room upstairs in the attic where you have sequestered me." And Mission says, "I respectfully rent you out my attic as a gesture for your service to this place of worship, for your deistic aspect." He says, "Yeah, well, if these whole freaking lands weren't completely barren and buried, and I wouldn't have to stay here. I could go somewhere else." And she looks at him and she said, "Then go, Copper. If you wish to wander the dale until your god finds you there, barren, splayed out, a victim of a Yeti or polar bear attack, be my guest. There is the door."
Erard leans over to Kyra and
perhaps
goes,
we
I think they've had this conversation more than once.
I definitely get that impression. Perhaps if you could point us to some sort of inn, maybe we don't even have to bother you with
And
lodging.
Mission looks at you and she says, No. I insist. We have room here at the temple or at the shrine that you may rest. There are 2 rooms upstairs. Copper only occupies 1, and my living quarters are adjacent to the building. There is space up there. I cannot say that it is going to be the most comfortable, but if you all have bedrolls and blankets of your own accord, then, and being adventurers, I imagine you...
Absolutely.
Yes, I imagine you would.
Absolutely. All we need is a roof over our heads.
Then that is... I can absolutely offer you that.
and even then, that's not always a must.
Well, in these
Yeah,
trying
that's true.
times, a roof over your head, some warmth on your face is what we really need.
Indeed.
And Copper looks at all of you, and he says, "Yeah, well, fine. I'll go upstairs. I'll get everything ready. Give me about, yeah.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
He says, give me about 20 minutes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cropper. I appreciate that. Your assistance.
Mm-hmm. And do any of you go up there with him, or do you stay down there, or what do you guys do while he's up there?
I'm staying down here.
Okay.
I think it might be best to stay out of his way for now. At least that's what Kyra's thinking.
Okay. Woo?
Staying out of his way.
Smith?
Same.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, you hear him up there rattling and clattering around. You hear at one point a few minutes later what sounds like the shattering of glass. And if any of you make any movements of like concern, you see Mishan puts her hand up and she says, "It is fine. He is an old tinkerer, and he currently had some of his alchemical studies set up in that other room. I told him I did not want him practicing most of that there. His room is spacious enough to accommodate it, but as he kept saying it, the fumes were making him more irate than he already was, and by the light of a monitor, I would never want to deal with that gnome on a bad day.
Hearing that, Everard's interest will peak up, and he'll say, "So you said he studies all of that, like alchemy, the arcane arts, that sort of stuff?"
Yes, he was an old tinkerer who belonged to a guild somewhere. I believe he calls it. He referenced it one time, Izit or something like that. But he has turned to the life of accolade. I don't know if accolation is a thing, but he has turned to the life of service to his god Lathander.
Might be able
Do
to
I-
help me with something.
Do I know anything about the Izit or whatever it was called?
Probably not. I say that would probably be foreign to most of you, but if you would like to roll a history check to just even see if that's something you're even close to knowing.
No.
All
Nope.
all I know is Everard wants to talk to him now.
I got a 23.
Kyra's heard distant tales and songs.
Yeah, Kyra, you have
Mm.
heard tale of I'll say it has come on the tales of your storytelling brethren. This group of almost engineers that has developed these fascinating infrastructure pieces that are marvels in the light, or that rival the marvels of magic. And actually, as you think of this, it sort of gives you a familiar sense to some of the old stories that you heard of the Netherese, which were the ancient race of mages that performed, insane types of magic. The Izit engineers, they try to replicate some of this, obviously on a far smaller scale. A few of the examples that you can actually recall hearing stories of was, unlike most towns and villages and whatnot that rely on aqueducts, or that rely on wells and springs for water, they have actually designed plumbing systems. They have designed levitating platforms. So there are, you have heard tale of like these buildings and these sprawling these sprawling areas that they have sort of built up around, where stairs are no longer a thing. They just have platforms that raise you up and down. They have small orbs that they're able to affix to posts and put out in the streets that give off light during the nighttime and are off during the daytime. So the
Future is now, old man.
Yeah. Yes. The general thought process that you have is that he is a mechanical engineer. He is like sort of a arcano-mechanical engineer to some degree when you hear reference to the Izit faction.
Interesting.
It's not very interesting to me. I rolled an 8.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
you don't know anything about them. So while that's all going on, what do you guys do?
Gerard's gonna ask Mission, would he be willing to talk about his studies? Because I do have some questions for him about something that we discovered earlier.
She rolls her eyes and she says, "Oh, if you get him started, I just keep him occupied. If when he gets on to his his stories and the stuff that he's doing, it is eye rolling to say the least."
I'll keep that in mind. And
Do you mind if I take a look around?
No, you are welcome to make yourself at home.
Oh, thank you very much.
after
I'm going to go upstairs.
Okay.
that's where Gerard was going. He was gonna go try having conversation with him and help
Kavarda's
where
not
he
making
can.
it, by the way.
What?
If you guys saw, Kavarda is not making it, by the way.
No.
Wait, did he
What?
message the chat? That
Yeah.
son of a bitch!
He just sent a message.
He said he's pulling a double because I guess his coworker's mother passed away or something.
One passed away and another walked out.
Which, okay, fine, but like
That's a new
They
one.
usually give you notice.
you could tell
beforehand?
us, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Could let us know. All right.
Like-
So
He said another break, which means at his first break he would have known that he was about to do a double shift, unless
Yeah.
they turned to him and asked, "Hey, somebody just walked out. Are you picking this up?" Because you
Right.
can easily tell them no. Which, regardless, he knew.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, you head upstairs. So is it Kyra and Gerard going upstairs?
Yep.
Yeah, for now at least.
Okay. So Wu, Smith, and Groff, what are you guys doing while they're heading upstairs?
I am thinking about an ice cold Paylor's blue ribbon.
Paylor Blue Ribbon.
Chilling.
I thought he said that wasn't for a few hours. Or are you going to?
I mean, hey, he can still go to
That's
the
true.
North Look.
I'm just
think.
thinking
Pre-game.
about it.
Yeah, he's
Pre-game.
thinking about it.
Just thinking about what I'm looking forward to, you know?
Yeah.
Got a pregame before you go to the bar.
What is Wu doing at this time?
I don't know.
Okay. I mean, we can just say that you're sort of, sitting there relaxing.
Yeah,
Sitting
he's
there
just gonna
petting his
kinda-
null head.
Trying to fit his crown of many arrows.
Um,
Put the crown on the null head.
so while you guys are sitting there, those that are here in the temple, they're sort of chattering amongst themselves, and you catch at one point two of the followers there. They're sort of talking with another, and hear the one lean over to the other, and say, "So, have you heard that the town leader of Caer Dineval has gone missing?" The other one says, "No, I mean, I heard
real
that."
quick. This is after. Sorry, real quick. This is after Kyra and Gerard going upstairs.
Yeah, like you two have gone up there, like that's going
Okay.
on, and then they're hearing this while you guys are up there, and
it.
the other one says, "No, what happened?" And the first patron says, "I'm not sure. They say that they've gone missing, but nobody's seen them. Like, I think it was Crannock. I think was his name. Yeah, he like."
Hey, Justin, you're eavesdropping. You better be taking notes.
Take
Yeah.
mental notes.
Somebody said that he was falling ill, or that he had fallen ill for a little while, but I don't know. Apparently people have been claiming that weird people have been hanging around the town master's hall there. Not really sure what it is, but yeah, it's just real weird going on up there in Caer-Dineval right now.
Were we there?
No. You guys have been in...
The other things about Caer-Dineval were the one woman's son being crazy.
Right. That is the
And
true.
And how do you
think
spell Caer-Dineval?
Caer-Dineval. It's like Caer then something.
Yes, you are right. There, that is how you spell it. Caer-Dineval. I hate when fucking... God damn it, I hate when it does that. Anytime I try to copy and paste something from OneNote, it always does it as like a picture. There we go, Caer-Dineval.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, basically the thing that you know about Caer-Dineval is that it is on it alongside Caer Konig. They are both on Lake Lac-Dinishare, along with the town East Haven. So this is what that area looks like.
Okay.
And to give you guys a bit of reference, here we go.
That's where the shiny Gyarados is.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
No. That's in that's Smith. No, that's in Redwaters. That's down by where.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Obviously, because it's the red Gyarados. But yeah. So you guys hear that? Do you do anything about? Do you say anything to them? Do you interact with them, or do you just listen and let that pass?
Listen and let it pass.
Okay. Groff.
Well, I'd go up and be like, "Tell me more about it was the town master, right?
Yeah.
Tell me more about the town master. What happened to him?"
They sort of look over at you, a bit of a weird look for a moment, and then they just sort of pass it off. He says, I think his name is Kranich. I've been up to Caer-Dineval once or twice. From what I know, he sort of like brute forced his way into leadership there. I remember somebody I knew that used to frequent that area called him a bully, and that he would often put on shows and spectacles to keep his respect or maintain fear. But yeah, like I said, it's just been floating around that he's fallen severely ill, but strange people have been seen going in and out of the castle there.
You're saying he's a bit of a tyrant.
I mean, I don't live there. I don't know his politics.
Well, he's
Sorry, real quick. What was his name? Kranich.
Kranich. Yep.
That's not the same as the woman with the son who's supposedly going crazy from.
No,
from
that's Cora Malfoon.
Okay, I just want to make sure they weren't the same person.
Right.
I'm not even there, but
Yeah, no, it's fine.
something to consider.
Well, what can you lads tell me about the mysterious folk coming out of there?
I don't know. I haven't been there. It's you know how rumors float around the Dale.
Well, what have you heard? What's the rumor?
Well, it was that sinister-looking figures have been seen entering and leaving the castle at odd hours, and they say it started happening as Speaker Kranich started falling ill.
Bit odd.
Yes, that is in fact why the rumor mill spins, I guess.
Groff will just give a hearty pat onto their backs and be like, "Thanks for the talk, boyos."
Yeah, thanks. Ah, damn, that's a hefty arm.
As I walk away, I'll mutter under my breath, Fucking weirdos. Can't even handle a pat on the back.
It's just like the other guy's like, "You
They
okay?"
didn't even insult my mother.
Yeah.
What's that?
They didn't even insult my mother. How weird.
Yeah, right?
All right. So yeah, we'll sort of backtrack a little bit as Gerard and Kyra are making their way upstairs to meet with Copper. As the two of you head up into the attic area, you see the two rooms. There are basically just like there's a staircase, and then there are two doors there. And he is in the right-hand door, in the right room right now, cleaning it out. You hear clattering and some banging around of glass and metal and stuff like that. And you hear him muttering to himself, "Yeah, clean up after myself. Clean up after yourself, mission. I'm the only one that cleans around here."
I'll knock on the door.
What?
Excuse me, Mr. Copper.
Yeah?
This is Cairo, one of the
I saw you down there.
If you will. Everything okay now? We heard some grass breaking.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, everything's fine, just little bit of lake water and frog's eye that just spilled out onto the onto the floor, nothing that I don't know, would cause some kind of crazy reaction or nothing. Why do you ask?
No, just making sure. Would you like any help?
You help me.
Sure.
I
Gerard's
also,
with me as well.
yeah, while we're helping, I'd also like to ask you some questions about your craft and maybe get some answers about something very interesting that we found.
And he looks at the two of you and he says, "Did Mission put you up to this?"
Oh no,
No,
it's a
She hates whenever I talk about my work.
Yeah, she advised me against it.
And you're interested?
But we heard
Yes.
something about the Guild of Izit. Was that what it was?
Yes, she does listen. Wow. Broad actually pays attention sometimes.
And this is when Gerard will present the book with the etchings, the orb, and the stuffed animal, and will be like, "This is a bit out of my arcane knowledge."
You see he pulls out, you see he takes off his overly fluffy clothing right now. You see he has a bit of a chill over him, but he is into wearing his apron and stuff like that. And you see on his one hand, he has a large ring that he is sort of flaunting in a sense, that has.
Is it his graduation ring?
It is. But it is a ring that has this if I could find it. Where the hell did it go? There it is. It is a ring that has this symbol on it. And Kyra, you can instantly recognize that as the symbol of the Izit League.
Just as I thought.
And he says, "Yes, I am a ring-bearing member of the League myself. I actually came up here to Icewind Dale in order to try and put an end to what is going on here. A good ally of mine. I've been worried about him. Macradius. He took on the charge of the research up in an old cabin out in the wilderness. I haven't heard back from him in a little while. Been getting a bit worried, but I'm still trying to do some of my own work here.
I think we can look into that.
If you're ever out that way, I don't know if you ever travel out near out near Kelvin's cairn, but his.
We actually had a trip somewhere recently.
You see that he has a map of I can't think of it now. He has a map of Icewind Dale on his wall, and you can see he points out where this cabin is, and I myself have to pull. Yeah, that's what I thought. That it is up here along near the river, to the north of Lonely Wood. Oh, sorry, I don't have it on. Here, my bad. There we go. To the sort of like, north and west from Kelvin's Cairn and Lonely Wood, right about there.
Okay.
But we're sort of on our way to Termerain at some point within the next week. I think we can see if we can stop by.
Well, yeah, if you're
Is he a member of the guild like yourself?
he is. Yes, he and I came up here. He and I came up here together, and I stayed here in Bryn Shando whenever I met up with Mission. She was actually the one that was willing to put us up for a little while. But Macradius, he had other intentions. He had found an old cabin up near Lonely Wood. Said that there was some strange goings on up there. So he was out there doing his work, and I was back here doing mine.
Seems like there's a lot of strange happenings going on around here.
Icewind
The other
Dale.
day, we
Yes.
experienced a cave that had people losing their minds.
See a little bit of confusion in his eyes, and that is quite strange. You
Oh
know,
yeah. Who was that person we met? If I live in Chuck, he was talking about the
Raven
those
Chuck?
crystals. I think that's what his name was.
Puff. I knew him. He was an old he was an old combat medic. Wasn't
Yes,
he?
I think so.
Yeah.
He had some sort of metallic snake for a pet named Beefsteak or something.
Yes, Beef Chuck. I remember him.
That's what it was.
What the hell's he doing up here? What in nine hells is he doing up here in the Dale?
Well, we found an old cave
Researching
and
something.
researching those crystals.
Well, if he is out here, I don't know. I have no ill will towards him, just been so long since I've seen his face. But, I'm sorry, we sort of got off track there. Yes, if you happen to be up there, I worry about him. He has not looked in on me for some time. I know he said that he was in the process of building a device up there that could end this eternal winter, return summer back to Icewind Dale. But what is it that you wish to ask me? You see that like during all of this, he is slowly setting his like alchemical supplies back up, like taking them out of the boxes that he was putting them in and like putting them back up in almost like a showcase.
Well, in a way, it's I don't know very much about alchemical such things, but I did want to ask: is it true that this guild you're a part of, that they sort of replicated some of the aspects of the Netherese?
To a degree. It very much depends on the skill of the mage.
But that's the reason why I'm here. I'm researching the Netherese for stories to bring back to Sunset Mountains.
Interesting. So did you come up here to seek out the Lost Spire?
The what?
I don't know if I know that. That wasn't really part of my backstory.
Right. No, yeah, this is the first time you've heard of it.
Possibly. What is this Lost Spire? Is that what he said? Lost Spire?
Yeah. It is claimed that.
Well, actually, right before you do that, I will get a little friend to help us dust off these little knickknacks and tables and such, and she will cast Unseen Servant.
Oh, nice.
It's part of, it's a magic. It's a spell I
Yeah.
got for picking the Magic Initiate feat.
Hell yeah.
Look at him and say,
so-
I'd get my small friend to help too, but Neo Guri just kind of smirks at me and then takes a swig and
Yeah.
maybe even flips me off.
You see.
Please continue your story.
You see this this stuff getting set up, and he says, "Oh, yeah, the unseen servant spell. That's practical use indeed."
During my time as a bard, I did have to stay in some ramshackle areas sometimes. It's coming in handy.
It is understandable. He waves his hand. You see the ring on his finger light up, as well as the symbol that he wears around his neck, that of Lathander, and you see that that more stuff starts moving in a similar fashion. He says, "I am quite knowledgeable of that spell." But
so about this Lost Spire,
it is told that somewhere buried out in the tundra is an old spire of a tower that broke away from the old Netherese city. I mean, it is... The stories tell of it falling from the sky nearly 2,000 years ago. Most of it shattering into pieces as it embedded itself into the earth upside down. But no one has been able to find it. And it is said to still lay somewhere up here in the Dale. In fact, it was one of the reasons I myself originally came to the Dale.
and you haven't have any leads since then.
I never got far enough through. The tundra is, and he gestures to his, super bundled up clothing. He says, the tundra is not favorable to someone like myself.
Oh, I can definitely understand that. I don't know what I would be without some of the guides I've had in my group.
Yeah, they've helped quite a lot.
Well, I can say if you stumble across it, the arcane research that could be done there would be leaps and bounds what could be learned in lifetimes from books.
I do have a question for you, because I know
Yes.
you said you're knowledgeable in a lot of magic, Jake. This was a bit of an off-putting to me. I'll open up the book, the journal, to like the etchings of the orb and everything else.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I'll lay it down on the table, and then I'll pull out the orb and the still kind of sliced in half stuffed animal, and put it there and be like, we thought, we know there's a soul in the orb, or at least what Kira could tell, there was a soul in the orb.
Yes, I was able to cast an identification spell on it. All I could figure out is that there was a wizard's focus of sorts for their spells, and that there's some sort of transmutation magic going on, and there's a spirit supposedly trapped inside.
And we're just trying to make
Trapped
sense of this.
but I'm of course concerned if it's trapped or contained.
Yeah, that too. And also trying to make sense of what this book is trying to show, because it's essentially showing that, from what they said, the lightning, love, and life ruins between an orb and a cat, I guess. And we already put the orb in the stuffed animal. That didn't work. So I don't know if maybe you know something more than we do.
We found it on the way to here from Torgos, so perhaps they
Yes.
were traveling from there. It was a caravan attacked by orcs.
He looks through the book.
Unfortunately, there were no survivors.
You handed him the book and the etchings, right?
Yes.
Okay. He looks through the book and he goes, they were from Lonelywood. It's possible they were looking to leave the Dale. Fortunately, it seems the danger they were trying to escape did not let them leave. He takes a look at the etchings, and he looks at the orb, looks at the stuffed animal. I see what you mean. It does indeed seem as if there is some kind of ritual to be had here. Now, you said you found this all together?
Yes.
I believe so.
So there must have been a spellcaster amongst them. Because this is assuredly a casting focus.
Yeah, we found all three of the
Have you
objects were inside of a chest. Were all three of them
Have
in
you
the
showed-
chest?
I think so.
Okay.
Have you shown him the portrait yard? I believe there was the woman who had the orb.
I didn't take the portrait. I didn't know if we took it.
Oh crap!
I think
I assumed it was part of the journal.
I'll say that it was put into the journal.
Okay.
Okay.
Then yeah, I'll tell him. Like, if you turn back to the front of the journal, I believe it's the woman that had it, because you also see in the picture there's a live cat and the stuffed animal. But when we were there was no live animal cat.
I see. Tell me, when you found this, you said there was no cat.
No.
He
Only
looks through the
stuffed animal.
He looks through the book. Were you able to determine who this Marcus was?
No. Just what written in the book.
I've only heard about this one story about this warlock who's gone crazy on his ship and has killed a goblin named Marcus.
Ah, yes, the misunderstood adventures of...
Oh yes.
Yes.
I quit.
Misunderstood. If I recall in that story, he revived the goblins several times.
Look, he ended up in hell where he belongs.
Look, I remember reading that story. He was just trying to help him. I don't know what else you want to think.
He was a sympathetic character. He was trying to really connect with his god, but only ended up helping the enemy.
Multiple times.
He did fall short in the end.
Yeah, he's burning in hell.
Neither here nor there.
He looks
Story
at
like Ass Weasel, the trilogy or something.
Yeah. He looks at all of you, and he says, well, could be anything. Well, it does almost seem as if this could work. Well, we can give it a try if you want. And you see that he sort of pulls his glove back, like he tightens it, and you can see that like lightning is like slowly like discharging from his fingertips.
Oh, that's a weird prostate exam.
Or the best prostate exam.
Yeah, the most intriguing. You can see that there's almost an energy radiating from his ring up to his fingertips when he does that.
I mean, might as well.
Well, then let us call forth what is in this orb. And he, look.
What are
he
you about to do?
We are about to perform an experiment, young lady.
dear.
And you see this look of just
She just puts on her goggles.
Yeah, you see this look of overjoy in his face as he goes over and he looks down the stairs. Just cleaning up. Don't mind any noises. Walks back over, shuts the door, locks it.
As they all hear that downstairs, including the other half of the group.
Yeah. And he goes over to this cabinet where he has a number of supplies, and he pulls out this jar that has a bluish green, almost moss or vegetation, and he pulls out a pinch and he puts almost as if he's putting chew in his mouth, like a mouthful of chaw. He's putting it in his mouth, and he hands it to each one of you, and he says, "Go ahead and take a mouthful."
I will do so.
Okay, Erard will do so.
Meanwhile,
Yep.
could I do an Arcana check to see if I know what he's doing?
Sure.
Can I do a survival check to know what the hell I was just given?
Yes.
Or would
I'm
it be
gonna do a check
medicine?
of my own.
Would it be medicine or survival?
It's gonna be survive. You know what? It's the same for you either way. So do whichever one you want.
I have no idea what I just got drugged with.
Yeah, no. Kyra,
Too bad we don't have Kevin's character here. He would know.
Kyra, your limited knowledge of this is not really helping you. But you have a thought, because as you put this in your mouth, you feel almost a little bit of a charge. And that is when he confirms it, as he's watching Gerard putting this in his mouth, and he says,
I'm confused.
Yeah.
What the hell are we doing?
yeah, you feel almost like a buzz to it, almost as if you have just licked a battery. And as he's putting the stopper back on, he goes, "Lightning moss. It's used in potions to give you a bit of a resistance to lightning and electricity. So I don't want any of you getting zapped. So just keep that in your mouth. Chew it up. Get a little bit going in there before we do this." And goes over, pulls this table out, just this right across the wooden floors. Takes the stuffed toy, sets it right in the middle, places the orb next to it. He pulls out this fairly large apparatus that he had sequestered off into the corner with an iron rod pointing down. And he goes over to it and he touches it, and you see that he casts light on it as it illuminates this area. And he grabs the etchings and he sets them there on the table. And he says, "Well, so from what this looks like, placing the orb inside of this, inducing an electrical current, should do something. But I don't know. You said that this middle symbol is love?"
That's what they said when they deciphered the ruins for us.
Well, love is not quantifiable.
It is. It's been put into so many songs, and she'll start strumming her lute, and just goes, dun 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 dun. dun.
Okay,
I was trying to do that. I was trying to do that melody from that Sarah Bareilles song.
Sarah,
It's called Love Song.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I know that one.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah. That's fine. Oh, yeah.
See if that does anything. Yeah, that.
Copyright.
What is Gerard doing during all of this?
Erard's just preparing himself. He's gonna well.
This is Kevin speaking. This is Kevin speaking. Copper has lightning covered. Kyra has love covered, so you have to do life, even though you're a figment of death.
Yeah, I'm a goddamn warlock. The only life that I can provide is the fact that I'm trying to bring life in the plants back to Icewind Dale for Calyrax. That's the only life I have is the symbol of Calyrax on my back.
Okay, so let me ask you this. You know what? Roll me as you're watching all of this. You know, you're watching as Copper is preparing to cast something. You see Kyra beginning to play some music. I want you to
with more death than life in the past few days.
True. I want you to roll me. I want you to roll me a charisma. I want you to roll me a check based off of your spellcasting modifier. So, and I'm going to say that you're proficient. So you're going to roll a d20. Yeah, it's charisma. This is kind of like Arcana, but it's based off of his stuff. So it's going to be a
12.
Charisma Arcana check.
Yeah.
I got a 12.
Weird.
Unless you want me to roll it again.
Yeah, because I was going to give you advantage for this one.
Oh, good.
Ooh.
Wow, I got one more.
Damn. Okay. Well, still keep in mind we're also adding your proficiency bonus with that. So that's going to be with a +2. So that's going to be 15. You almost get the thought that you know, like every time that you have bonded with an animal, you have used your beast bond ability.
Yes.
So you think that might you think that might do something for you. You don't know what.
I was gonna say I was probably before you had me roll. I was gonna say I was probably gonna ready animal friendship or something of that.
Okay.
And just be like, that's the life, or the life part, because it's just life is all around with the animals and whatnot.
Sure.
But sure. I'll use beast bond because I was informed too by the Almighty God.
Yeah. You get a thought in your mind as Calyrax is just like, beast bond. Beast bond.
I mean,
Good thing I can use it once per
You're
long rest, because
beast
all of my
bond.
spell slots are gone.
You hear Groff from the floor below. Beast Bond.
It's where all
Yes.
the voices come together and we learn that Rey is a Skywalker.
Yeah.
What?
All right. So
That movie
as
sucks.
you do this, you grab you touch the tail of this small toy that has the ribbon attached to it, and you see Copper. He looks at he looks at the two of you and he says, I must say, quite exhilarating if I do say so myself. Are you ready, gentle? Are you ready? I was gonna say gentlemen, but he looks at y'all. He looks at the two of you and he's like, "Are you ready, folks?"
Gentle
How does-
persons, yes.
Ready
Yes.
as we ever can be.
And he holds his hand out over the stuffed toy that has the orb inside of it. You see lightning begin emanating from his fingertips, and he says, "I, Kappa Nabanaka, invoke the name of Lathander and the power of the Azit League." And you see his ring begins to glow, his pendant begins to glow, and you see that he begins to emanate electricity through his fingertips. This is something that that I will say, the two of you, having lived, having traveled up the Sword Coast, this is actually a fairly common cantrip. This is the Shocking Grasp cantrip. And Kyra, you know that is actually something that is granted to all Azit engineers through the power of their ring.
Cool.
And there's some flashes. Kyra, your music is sort of breaking through the crackling of the electricity. You see Copper just as you're seeing these like flashes of light.
I was going to say, Everard's just thinking to himself, and he goes, "Please, Calyrax, don't let this be the way I die."
In fact, Gerard, you
He's
take
just holding the tail.
3 points of, or wait, shit, where was it? It's not 3.
30.
You take 8 points of lightning damage.
I am almost dead. For the
Right.
love of goddamn Christ.
Right. You take 8 points of lightning damage. And as you do, you see, like, you know, you're like holding onto this thing, like your hands clenching this ribbon.
Because of the electrical shock.
Right. You can feel.
Notice he's in pain or being hurt?
Oh yeah, like you definitely like, you know, see that he's, you know, just like, and you know, like
cast healing word.
Before you, as you are casting this,
should I even roll?
No, yes, no, absolutely. Go ahead and roll.
No, yes, no.
Yes, go ahead and roll.
Gerard, you are healed for 10 hit points.
Nice. So,
Lucky 13.
you see him like holding on to this, his eyes open as the spell hits him. You're right. You can almost feel like energy pulling from your hand. And you know, your arm is sort of, you know, shaking and shivering as the lights begin to flash in here, and you see the iron rod that Copper had cast light on is just like boom, 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 until it almost blinds the three of you. And as it does, you hear this this pop of metal as the iron rod that had the light cantrip cast on it sort of explodes outward.
Oh, good.
And you see Copper like stumbles back. Kyra, you shield your eyes and stuff. Nothing hits you. But Gerard, as you go to pull, like you still, you know, your hand is still clenched from that energy, and as you pull back, you feel that ribbon in your hand almost come to life as it resists a little bit and then slowly starts to pull away from you. And after a few seconds, your eyes begin to adjust. And laying on the table there, on its back, you see what looks like this.
We created a cat!
Whoa.
And
it's like realish fur, or is it
yes.
still like a doll?
It looks real.
Whoa.
And you see that it, as you're all coming to, and it's also a little bit bigger.
I love the little like beard it has.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of what was his name? It was the experiment. I think his name was just Red from Final Fantasy.
Red
Oh, I don't
13
know.
or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never played Final Fantasy. Okay. Okay, yeah.
Heard about it.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Oh, okay, yeah, I can see a little bit of a similarity. But yeah, so you see this thing, it like lifts its head. You see that it pulls its tail up. Its tail is extremely long. It is as long as the ribbon was when it was tied to the end of that toy's
I'm still
tail.
kind of holding the tail. I'm just like,
Right. It's
oh.
like pulling, you know, away from you. And it looks up and it opens its eyes and it looks around and you hear in your head that when it looks at
all
you,
of us or just one of us?
it looks at you.
Me?
And
First thing you see is the things it's his mother.
yeah, but it's you get this thought in your head of confusion.
I'll let go of the tail, still looking at it, just like, oh, sorry. I'm assuming you're confused because the people you were with wasn't this group.
And you get like a you get this like confused family child.
Sorry, I need clarification. Is it speaking to
It is.
Urod in like Sylvan or similar to Niraguri, or is it like common?
It's
both.
telepathy. Yeah, it's telepathy.
It's
Telepathy,
using
okay, so-
telepathy. Erard is saying the stuff out loud as
Yeah.
he.
And can it say Edward?
Oh God!
Brother Edward. But yeah. So you're saying this stuff out loud, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Your family was attacked by orcs, and we weren't able to save them in time. We found you left.
And then you get, as you say that, you get this terrifying image in your mind, something that startles you. You get, it is almost as if you are the size of a house cat looking up at a blood-covered white moose.
Oh, no. You witnessed the whole thing. You
Blood
weren't.
covered white moose.
Well, you see this. Now, I will say that you definitely know that you already assumed the family was attacked and killed by the orcs.
Yes.
But something about this,
Yeah,
like,
this is telling me different.
terror and fear in this in this creature's mind as this.
Erard will just look super sad from the image and go, "It wasn't the orcs, was it?"
And
You couldn't
the
you
creature
couldn't protect them in your current form.
the creature looks at you and has a curious eye, and it says, "Orcs? No."
You were already back in the orb when the orcs were trying to raid, so it wasn't the orcs that did it.
And it's like you can see that it's now finally starting to like gain a little bit of sentience almost.
Yeah.
And it says, "The orcs. I did not witness orcs."
When we arrived, there was orcs raiding the carriage, which means the moose that you saw and witnessed must have walked off, and the orcs were there after the bodies were found. Keep in mind, Erard is saying this out loud, so Kyra's
Yeah.
hearing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's still standing stunned that this thing came alive and looks like a real animal. Or
And
creature.
yeah, so as you I mean, I guess I can just put up the whole image for what it's worth, because I will be adding this to Beyond. There you go.
Woohoo!
Oh, keep in mind, it is
Sweet.
small. It is not
Okay.
medium. It is small.
So it's about the size of Neoguri. Or no,
it's about
Neoguri's.
He's
yeah,
medium. Or wait,
so
is
it's
he?
a little smaller.
Is he medium?
I think
No, he's
he's
small.
medium.
He's
I
small.
always thought he was small.
He's small. Yeah. So it's about. It's the size of a house cat. Which actually I think it's tiny. So maybe it's hold on. D&D.
Well, it says medium. You're saying small, and then you're like, oh, maybe it's tiny.
Yeah.
I say just go with small.
I'm. No, it's tiny. There we go. Tiny. But yeah. So with that, you
I like
like-
your friend there, Altman.
Yep.
Or is that just Justin
He's
and
been
that's why he's
sitting
not
next
in
to
the
me
chair?
this whole time. So
Yeah. You get this. So when you say, about the moose, Copper stands up and he's like rubbing his eyes, looking at us like, fascinating. It worked. It worked. And he's like shouting. And he says, wait, moose? What about a moose?
A giant white moose is what killed its family.
a
So
moose.
did the family die near Lonelywood then?
No, we found the family coming up.
Yeah,
Oh.
we found them on the way to Brunchander.
Yeah,
Just a few hours trip from
we
here.
thought the orcs did it, but
That's
from what
unsettling.
the cat has shown me, it wasn't the orcs.
That is very unsettling. There has been rumors of a white moose attacking loggers up in the forest near Lonelywood.
Dear.
If there are more, that spells terror across the dale. Ha! We can never catch a break, can we? Well,
Added to the list of strange things going on in Icewind Dale.
Well, I must say I am quite pleased that this worked. It's a fascinating creature. And you see that this thing, it begins to coil its tail up, almost as if it was like a tigger. And we have to be careful with that word. And it jumps down. It stands up and it does that cat stretch, and then it jumps down off of the table that it's on, and its tail sort of catches its fall as it bounces.
Oh my god, it is a tiger.
It does what you call me? It does stop bouncing as it coils its tail up further. And
Gerard, your mastery over creatures never ceases to amaze me. Well, maybe not mastery. I don't. Your proficiency in
I wouldn't
handling
say
animals.
mastery.
Look, that was just a bad situation. You need to stop blaming yourself about it.
Yeah, some sad days. So
But
yeah,
anyway.
you see Copper. He's all excited, and he's standing there, and all of a sudden, you hear this you're actually, I don't know if this will carry.
Nope.
Yeah,
A
no.
little bit.
But you hear this
We get the
bang,
idea.
bang, bang on the door as you hear Mission's voice. What is going on in there? Why did I just see flashes through the floorboards and hear banging and shouting?
Well, we weren't banging and shouting, were we?
Well, the door is still locked.
Oh.
Copper's goes over, unlocks the door. You see
Cleaning?
she looks around and she sees the table in the middle of the floor. She's like, I asked you to just move your stuff. Oh no, that was Jesus Christ. That was Copper's voice. I just asked you to move your stuff. Why did you move? What is all this? What was?
I mean, to be fair, it's partially our fault. We asked him for help on something, and
He succeeded,
But, we-
and he gestures to the cat.
Where does that thing come from?
seems to be a combination of a doll and a spirit contained in an orb.
Everard will look down at it.
Everything's fine. Nothing's damaged.
Everard will look at it. Do you have a name?
And it-
Properly introduced?
And it sort of pauses, and then it looks up at you and it says, Marcus. And that's where we're going to end it for the night.
Holy shit! John Owens with the families at all!
Oh man, I have been sitting on this one for like a solid week. And you know what? You know what actually sold me the name when I was doing this was the other night when I was just going through D&D Beyond, clicking random buttons, and I went back into the 6th Age, and the fucking top of it said R.I.P. Marcus. And I was like, fucking Marcus, and I was just, again, I was clicking around, and I went up to where it has the private messages on Beyond, and the one message I have from December 15th, 2018 was Altman sending me a message that said, "You killed Marcus," and then, it was on the 17th, it was "You killed Marcus," the first was reminder, "You killed Marcus," and the 15th was "You killed Marcus." I was like, oh my god, I'm naming the next thing after him.
We're level 5, right?
No. You guys walked to a town.
So the journal is his.
No.
Or it was signed Marcus in the journal.
No, it wasn't. It was signed Cameron. I'm sorry. I love watching you go through trying to figure this out. And you know what? As the DM, it's like so blatant to me because I was the one who came up with it. It's like watching you go through all of this, and I'm like, man, you're connecting. What image are you creating with these connected dots that I'm not seeing? I love
know
it.
how I felt with that pedestal in the forest.
Oh my god, yes.
Never gonna get this 5 hours back.
Nope. 5 hours was a solid day because we had to fucking long rest while we were there. No.
And all we had to do was just show the power of friendship.
To put it straightforward, the father was Cameron, obviously. The mother,
Right.
Donna Jo, and the daughter was Kieran. Now,
Which one does Kevin have?
Kevin has Cameron. The thing was, the family was leaving the Dale. They were living up in Lonelywood. They had a cat named Marcus. Marcus was killed by the moose. That is the white moose that is causing the mayhem up in Lonelywood. The mother...
Which is also, wasn't that... Or what was the name of the gnome's friend who was out there?
Macradius.
Macradius.
Yes.
High noon.
His name is now McCree. But no, his name is Macradius. And so Macradius is up north of Lonelywood. And that's actually one of the reasons why Copper is kind of worried for his friend, because he's heard about these moose attacks, basically, and so he is fairly worried. That's why he brought it up to you guys. But again, the cat was killed by the moose. The family was then like, we need to leave, because not only is it like the everlasting Rime, but now there's moose attacks, and it's this white moose that hunters can't kill. So
I do remember hearing about the white moose hunters can't kill vaguely. Or
yeah, it was literally what Copper had just brought up.
Okay.
But yeah, so
the orcs did kill the family.
The orcs definitely killed the family.
The Roar just wasn't sure because he saw through the cat's eyes.
Right, right. Which the cat died up in Lonelywood at the hand of the moose. The mother found the cat, embedded its spirit into her spellcasting focus, and then
You're not nearly as interesting as me.
Yeah, and then started writing down ritualistic patterns of how to basically revive the cat into her child's toy, which you guys did, and you 100% got it. I'm fascinated that Altman, you decided to do what you did. It was the healing stuff that you did, where it was
the love song wasn't enough.
Well, the song added to it, because I was going to have you guys make Arcana checks in order to do this, but you offering your inspiring song,
What I thought he would do.
And healing a Rard who got zapped.
Right. So that's the thing. It was your Rard's health It was Gerard's life force that he was being zapped of that was going into the toy, and it was you providing that care for him that imbued the love into it.
Listen, I was gonna say some bullshit along the lines of he's providing the electricity. Kira's providing the life of music.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say the animal friendship was the love.
I mean, hey, we can look at it that way. Like I said, it was, in my mind, it was some form of electricity, some form of love, some form of life. So yeah, if we want to go with it that way, Kyra was providing the aspect of life, whereas Gerard was providing the love,
However,
yeah, like I said,
deed's done.
it worked out, yeah.
He had like three creatures die under him. He doesn't love them enough.
I just want this one thing. I just want a pet. Yeah, so like I said, I was sort of sitting on that one for a little while because I was like,
I guess I might have electricity again. It's 8 o'clock.
oh yeah. Because whenever I ran that session the encounter last week, I'm like, I need to make this something. It needs to be something more than just this. And I was like, what can I do?
Well, I
Here we
appreciate
go.
it because I think random encounters are kind of boring sometimes.
Yeah, I do too.
Or I guess I prefer encounters that have a purpose.
Have a purpose, yeah. And I generally try and do that. I generally try and give it a reason. And I was like,
For
man.
once in Lucas's life, he felt pity for me, so he's like, I need to give him a companion back.
Well, and again, funny enough, and again, I peek behind the curtain. Oh shoot, I'm gonna stop my stream real
We're
fast.
still using the